Stormwatch 12 weather on Newswatch 12.
Saturday to Southern Oregon and a little slice of Northern California. Today, you'll notice things are mostly sunny, but there is just a little bit of cloud coverage, and that's bringing us some nice temps out there. Still pretty warm towards Medford, 88 degrees, but that's nothing compared to what we've got coming up. I'll talk about that in just a second here, but here is your temp stretch for today. Should be looking pretty nice no matter where you're at, close to the averages out along the coast, and again, just those mostly sunny conditions everywhere. So it's a wonderful weekend, going to be even better for tomorrow as well. Now, the upper atmosphere has an interesting setup, and that's why things are just slightly cloudy. We've got a little dip here coming on by. That means there's a trough making its way into the area, and it's just passing towards our north, and that brings a little bit of a redirection of our winds that takes some more moisture from out over the ocean and pushes it into our direction, and that's why things are not completely sunny for today. That just slight bit of cooling with a little bit of cloud coverage as well. It actually does present a slight chance of some thunder coming up towards the east as it hits those eastern edges. Could get a little bit of orographic lifting as it hits over the mountains, but that chance is slight. Keep your eyes open though if you are out in the mountain ranges. But you can see that big hot out there. Like I said, things are going to be getting significantly warmer as we move into next week. Sunday, you can see it's just passing overhead, so we'll see just the edge of that big hot zone moving in Sunday evening, so things will be totally clear at that point, but then there's huge heat coming in after. That's really the big story. Now, like I said, just some cloud coverage coming in through the area for the majority of the day here. This is going to loop a couple times. You can see we've got to start the day off here a little bit towards the south, especially the Crescent City area, and then it does push its way all the way into the east later into the evening. That's where we get some of those slight chances in the east for some thunderstorms, but you can see here on the Stormcast that is not a very high likelihood. And all the way out on the coast, things clear out into this evening. It is going to be about a 9 o'clock sundown for today, so if you're out towards Gold Beach, you could see a nice sunset for today before those clouds do return even heavier into tomorrow. So expect that, but again, like I said, things are going to be really warm into next week. Now, of course, I've got to talk about the Applegate fire and the smoke. It looks like, unfortunately, we're going to see a little flare-up of that smoke later into the day, and it is going to push through Medford. It's actually going to be pretty intense over Medford, close to about 3 o'clock. Then it stretches that plume out towards the more eastern areas as we get later, and the worst case or the worst part for some of the more eastern areas to look in there at 8 p.m. should be the highest density of the smoke. It does start to subside, and the good news is because we have that low pressure passing overhead into tomorrow, it's not going to get stuck down since there's rising moisture in the upper atmosphere. But certainly as we get into next week, things are going to be pretty stagnant, so if that smoke continues, I'd expect to see a drop in conditions. Now, 7-day forecast, check this out. We're going to see a huge rise moving forward into next week. It's particularly out in a couple areas. One of those is Northern California, into the hundreds as we get into Thursday and Friday there. 104 Friday. For the Klamath Basin, check this out, getting into 91 by Friday, 76 for tomorrow, 76 today as well. For the Cascades, it's looking like another rise too, but all sunshine into next week. But here's the crazy one. Out towards the Rogue Valley, we are going to see potential record-breaking heat coming up Friday. 106, that record is 102